Hello and welcome to a special Devil's Advocate interview brought to you from Islamabad, where Imran Khan is the politician everyone is talking about. After his rally in Lahore on the 30th of October, many are predicting he could be the next Prime Minister of Pakistan, in which case, how will he tackle the challenges he has to face? That's the key issue I shall discuss with Imran Khan today. Part 2 of this special interview, I shall talk to him about the relationship he wants with India. But tonight, first, the challenge of ruling Pakistan. Imran Khan, your autobiography, which was published in September, ends with the words, "I feel Tehreek-e-Insaf is the idea whose time has come." Last week you said to The Guardian, "We will not just win the elections, we will sweep them." What makes you so cocky and confident?
Two things. One, the electronic media in Pakistan. It's revolutionized Pakistan. The intellectuals here were not understanding the impact of this electronic media. Now, what it's done is that it's raised the level of political awareness in Pakistan, which was unprecedented. So today you have the most politically aware public in Pakistan. The most watched programs are current affair programs. So that's one. And secondly, Asif Zardari. What Asif Zardari has done is he's basically exposed the true face of Pakistani politics. He's basically bought everyone. He's co-opted the entire political class with him, and he's taken them down with him.
So does this mean that whenever elections are held, Imran Khan will be the next Prime Minister of Pakistan?
Well, I've been predicting this for 1 year. It's not now. The rally was, what they saw in Lahore was actually a culmination of a series of events that have led to this. And a year ago, I started noticing amongst the people that there was a change. And suddenly I saw the young people, for the first time in Pakistan, getting politicized. And no change can take place until the young get politicized. So young and the women, these are the two sections of the society that bring change.
You're attributing your popularity to the young and the women, but analysts like Aisha Siddiqa and Najam Sethi say that you have the silent but strong support of the army. Are you General Kayani's preferred politician?
Well, you know, these analysts, so-called analysts, do they know real Pakistan? I wonder with the two names you've taken, have they ever been in the public here? Do they know what Pakistani, the common man, the rickshaw driver, the shopkeeper, do they even know them? Can they even speak the language?
But they may know the army, and the question is, are you General Kayani's preferred politician?
But first of all, people in this country have known me for 35 years. Have I ever been anyone's man? Has anyone ever controlled me? Have I got a price? Can anyone buy me?
I'll tell you why I asked the question.
Can anyone tempt me with anything?
I'll tell you why I asked the question. You've been upfront, critical and vocal about politicians. You've held them to blame for what you call the peril and the plight of Pakistan, but you aren't critical of the army. And people say, why is he not critical of the army?
People have short memories. Before 2008, when this civilian setup came up, I was the most critical opponent of the army, General Musharraf. Just look back at the criticism. These politicians today who are talking about it were petrified of the army. I was the only one who was taking them on.
But you don't criticize General Kayani.
Why should I criticize him when in a parliamentary democracy the Prime Minister is the head of state? He has all the authority, he has all the responsibility. If you have a train accident in India, do you criticize the train driver? You go for the minister.
One of the strongest points that you make is against corruption. The army has a very major role in Pakistan in corruption, but you don't say a word about the army's corruption.
No, but who's responsible for the army's corruption? The Prime Minister. Tell me,
Aren't
in India...
you exonerating and exculpating the army when you say that?
No, but under General Musharraf, I was criticizing the corruption.
But now?
Under General Musharraf, there was a GHQ being built here. I was the first one who said that this is a massive corruption going on. And actually it stopped because of me. Now, this is supposed to be a democratic setup. Either they should say that they are not in charge, they should resign. If they cannot be responsible for what is going on in Pakistan, they should resign. So anyway, to blame the army when you have Asif Zardari and Gilani having all the perks and privileges of power, So what are they doing there then?
Right. You're not criticizing the army because you claim this is a democratic setup, the civilians should take the blame. But the truth is that on critical issues, the generals have hobbled civilian politicians, whether it's defense-related matters, whether it's relations with America and India, the army calls the shots. Now, if you become prime minister, will you accept a subordinate status on those issues, or will you seek a better balance between civilian politicians and army generals?
Well, the truth is also that when Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was the prime minister, he sacked the army chief, he sacked the air chief. He was a genuine a leader, a prime minister.
Will Imran Khan as prime minister sack Kayani?
No, but first of all, let me just say that when you had a proper leader, he did that. Secondly, when the great Jinnah was in charge, you could never imagine the army asserting itself. What I'm saying is that we have non-leaders in Pakistan. These people are here to make money. They're not interested in governance.
Karan,
let me just go one step further. Balochistan is being handled by the army. The entire FATA operations are held by the army. No civilian input. Swat today is controlled by the army. Karachi, it's Rangers who are controlling Karachi. What is this government doing?
Absolutely. This is why I ask, if Imran Khan becomes prime minister, and that may happen in 15 months if people's speculation is to be believed, will you accept a subordinate status as Zardari and Gilani have been forced to accept, as Benazir and Nawaz had to do before that? Or will you have the courage and the strength to challenge General Kayani and the corps commanders and insist on civilian supremacy?
Karan, let me just make it clear. For me, the office of Prime Minister holds nothing. Remember, I'm probably the only politician who was offered to be the Prime Minister and refused. Now, unless I can implement my agenda, and which means I take responsibility of everything that's happening in Pakistan. It means that the army is under me. It means the ISI can do nothing unless it reports to me. It means that the army budget is audited by a civilian setup. It means that I take responsibility of anything that is happening outside my country. It means I take responsibility that no terrorism will take place from the Pakistani soil. Otherwise, I would resign.
In a nutshell, what you're saying, when Imran Khan, or if Imran Khan becomes prime minister, he will be General Kayani's boss. He will be any and every army chief's boss.
100%. I have never, ever been controlled by anyone.
Okay.
The fact that I would be, the people give me a mandate to come to be the prime minister, and I'll be someone's puppet. People know me here for 35 years. I have never been controlled by anyone.
Imran Khan, let's take a break at that point. When I come back, I want to put to you the very problems that you're going to have to tackle and how you propose to do so. That's in a moment's time. See you after the break. Welcome back to a special interview with Imran Khan, a man many predict could be the next Prime Minister of Pakistan. Imran Khan, in your autobiography, you say, mine is the only party that can get Pakistan out of its current desperate crisis. What are the solutions you have in mind for Pakistan's myriad and complex problems?
Well, the two basic problems of Pakistan, unless any government resolves that, the country is unviable.
They are?
Number one, tax collection. India has 18% tax to GDP ratio. Pakistan has dropped to 8%. We have 1 trillion rupees deficit. Now, 1 trillion rupees, unless someone has the ability to collect taxes, there's no question of making
At the moment, something like 2.5% of your population pay taxes. Can you kick it up sufficiently and quickly enough to overcome the 1 trillion deficit?
The reason is that none of the political leaders give taxes. All the political leaders' wealth is lying outside. They hide their wealth, they conceal their wealth, they don't declare their assets, they don't give taxes. Nawaz Sharif as Prime Minister gave 5,000 rupees income tax. He's a billionaire in dollar terms.
But how are you going to force politicians, and not just politicians, how are you going to force businessmen and professionals and all the others who don't pay taxes to pay taxes? What are you going to do to make them do it?
Number one, lead by example. Start with myself, my cabinet. Declare our assets. We've already said no one can contest election unless they declare their assets. And if we find any concealed assets, they're disqualified. So number one, Benami. Benami means where they conceal the assets in other names, that will be outlawed. Number two, any assets lying abroad, if they are not declared, it'll be considered perjury, it'll be a prison sentence.
All right.
So I'm saying that first the stick and then the carrot.
The problem, of course, is not just one of getting more people to pay more taxes. The problem is that you have an economy that is at the process of winding down, if not unraveling. Your inflation officially is touching 12%. Unofficially, it's said to be perhaps twice, maybe 3 times higher. Growth has fallen below 2.5%. You have crippling power shortages, and yet you've gone on record to say that you're going to stop US aid. How will you revive the economy? You can't do it simply on the back of more taxes.
First of all, except for the Marshall Plan, aid has never solved any country's problems. All it does is it props up crooks like our president here.
But the Marshall Plan is a great example of how aid can work if properly used.
Yeah, but aid normally comes with strings attached. Aid normally stops you from making the reforms needed to structure your economy. What aid does is it actually helps crooked governments, incompetent governments.
In the absence of aid, how do you revive an economy that is close to collapse, which is what is the true case in Pakistan?
Well, there's a 1 trillion rupees deficit. I here guarantee you that we can collect 2 trillion rupees from Pakistanis.
How?
Number one, remove all the exemptions.
Number two?
But exemptions. Number one is exemptions because the rich have given them exemptions. Now, just to give you an idea, Nawaz Sharif made a law where any remittances coming in not only are tax-free, but no questions asked. So so that's to whiten the black money. Number two, you have to give people the feeling that their taxes are going to be spent on them. So abolish all these symbols of extravagance, PM houses, president, governor houses. These are all colonial symbols.
How do you abolish those houses? You're not going to demolish them, are you?
No, make them into educational institutions, symbolically. We need education emergency in Pakistan, but
that
we have a whole plan.
That won't revive the economy. It may tackle the education problem, but it won't revive the economy.
No, but what it'll do is, it'll inspire people to pay taxes. Here is someone who collects I get the highest donations in Pakistan every year. In 1 month, they gave me 2 billion rupees for the floods.
Can I say something?
No, but can I just say one thing? Here is a country which gives highest per capita charity, gives the lowest taxes. Why? Because they don't trust the government.
But the point is this, you're relying upon people, A, being inspired, and maybe you are inspirational, and 2, on actually paying taxes on time and properly. Many people turn around and say, this is idealism to the point of simplicity.
No, hold on. I am idealistic, that's number one. I have always been
Are you being
idealistic.
simplistic?
But I have collected money. Remember, I'm the only politician who people trust, who give money to. Now,
so when Imran Khan goes out and says, pay your taxes, people will. That's what you're telling me?
No, but you take a series of steps.
Okay.
There's a stick and a carrot. In the US, people don't pay taxes because they're more honest. It's a non-bailable offense. You get caught not paying taxes, you go to jail. So you have to have both. At the one stage, inspire them. On the other, make sure that the top big fish who evade taxes go to jail.
Once again, time alone will tell whether this novel, if not unique, solution to Pakistan's economic problems delivers the goods. The second problem you face, and perhaps in some senses even bigger, is tackling terror. Now, in your book, you say that 90% of the militants in the tribal heartland are not terrorists. They either resent military intervention or US drone strikes. You say that 10% that are perhaps terrorists can be isolated and negotiated. Will the Pakistan army accept that approach to the problem?
You know, there was a meeting there, there was a foreign charity called Reprieve, this is against drone attacks, human rights organization. They came to Pakistan and they asked us to help them get victims of drone attacks to come over to Pakistan. So in Islamabad, we held a meeting. There were all tribal elders from all tribal agencies sitting there. And I asked them 2 questions. Number one, I asked them that if there's collateral damage, what would you do? With one voice, everyone said, we'll join the Taliban. Number 2, I said, if if the drones were stopped, and if Pakistan Army withdrew from the tribal areas, would you be able to take care of the terrorists? In one voice, everyone said, and give us 1 month and we will get rid of the terrorists.
But will the Pakistani army accept this approach to tackling terror? That's the question.
Pakistan Army is stuck there. General Kiani in the all-parties conference.
Wants a way out.
No, in the all-parties conference said something very important. He said, we are stuck in the tribal areas. He said, we're only holding our positions. We need a political process now because we are stuck. The moment we withdraw, the militants come back.
Let me put this to you. Today, as we speak in Islamabad, the spokesman of the Tehreek-e-Taliban has officially said that you are an agent of the West and that they reject your overtures. Now you're attempting to negotiate with the Taliban to bring them online. They've rejected your overtures. So to begin with, your approach has got, forgive me, a kick in the teeth.
But who is this spokesman of the Taliban? There are about 30 Taliban groups operating. My idea would not be to sort of negotiate with any group. My idea would be to win the people of tribal areas to our side. And every survey and poll has conducted has said, #1 party in the tribal area is Tehreek-e-Insaf.
Can I put this
Every poll.
Whether you talk about the economy or whether you talk about terror, and they are the two biggest challenges the country faces, it seems to me you're relying on your magnetism, your appeal, and your ability to inspire. Are you overestimating the impact you personally will have?
Well, put it this way. As far as the economy goes, you have no choice but to collect taxes. Otherwise, we're gone.
But are you overestimating your ability and your appeal? That's what I'm asking.
Well, but look at this way, Karan. I'm the only one who people trust with their money. I'm the biggest. I collect more charity than anyone in Pakistan. And number two, so obviously, if anyone can, someone they trust, they're likely to give taxes.
You really do believe in Imran Khan and his ability to succeed?
Yeah, 100%. I know the people of this country. For 20 years, they've been giving me money. But secondly, about the tribal areas, I'm probably the only politician who knows the tribal areas because I did a travel bag 20 years back. The only way, remember, the only way now is to win the people over to your side, to win this war. Otherwise, it's a never-ending.
My last question before I end this first interview. You're either spot on or you're being terribly arrogant about yourself. What do you say to critics who say he may believe in himself, but it's not justified?
Look, arrogance is the wrong word. Self-belief, probably the correct word. Self-belief, yes, I've always had that. I always believed one day my party would win the elections. In fact, for a year I've been saying what you are seeing right now. In India, I've given interviews, said that we'll sweep the elections, when people laughed at me. About the solutions, no one has been saying consistently the same things which I've been saying now. All the parties believe 7 years ago what I said, that there is no military solution. Everyone accepts there's no military solution, so there is only a political solution left.
So your position is, I, Imran Khan, are the answer to Pakistan's problems?
Well, not because I'm something brilliant, it's just because everyone else has failed.
Okay. Let's end this particular interview there. In part 2 of this special interview, I want to talk to you about the relationship you'll have with India. Will it be as novel and as unique as your response to the challenges of Pakistan? But for tonight, goodbye, good night.